superheroes are joining the podcasting world, and sad to say, a major video game title is getting delayed. Welcome to the newest episode of SDW.
Super Dario World!
It's a me,
Dario!
Woohoo! Let's go!
Alright, as always, any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at Dario the Show on Instagram or at SuperDario.News. Let's go through these kind of quickly because I kind of have stuff to do. But first, the big news of the day, the unfortunate news of the day, is that stupid Corona has taken one more thing from us. And by taken, I mean it was a delay. So it's been confirmed by CD Projekt Red, the creators of the Witcher video game series, that their upcoming video game title, Cyberpunk 2077, will get delayed. And it will be delayed by 2 months. The reason they put out a big letter saying why they did it, and we're sorry, but their style is they don't put out games unless they're finished, which is fine. Honestly, I understand it. It just sucks that it's been delayed now for the second time. But again, the pandemic is kind of a good excuse. So they're saying that basically they need to the story's done, pretty much everything is done, the gameplay is done, but they have to iron out a few bugs. So in the upcoming days, we will be getting some reviews about it because supposedly reporters have it now and they're playing it and they'll get feedback from them. So I'm guessing that the audiences will get a little bit of insight there too. But they've also mentioned that they have an event coming up called Night City Wire, and that thing's still in place. Night City Wire is an event. It's going to be a digital event. You can see it online on June 25th, where they will be updating. Well, I honestly have no idea what they're doing, but they will be, I'm guessing, updating, showing more stuff, and we'll see what else. It's going to be everything Cyberpunk related, as I understand it. So I guess we'll have more information next week, because June 25th, 1 week from now. But officially, Cyberpunk 2077 has been moved from September 17th to November 19th, which sucks, but what can you do? Also, how does this affect anything about the next-gen stuff? Okay, so this might actually have an interesting domino effect, because, I mean, if by that point in time, we're getting the PS5 out, or the X1, or the Xbox out, is it better to just, instead of buying it for the PS4 or the X1, is it just better to buy it for the next console, or just wait if it's coming out, let's say, a few weeks apart? I don't know. But, I mean, they have backwards compatibility. Honestly, I'm going to have to look into this to see what's the difference between getting it for one console or the other, because there's got to be a difference between Cyberpunk 2077 for the PS4 and the PS5. There just has to be. I don't know what it is, but I'll look into it. That's a promise. I'll look into it, mainly because I'm the one who wants to know. But I'll share the information because I'm a nice guy that way. They've shown a bunch of trailers were released, and I saw two that kind of caught my eye. There's a new Deathstroke animated movie. Now, DC's done really good animated stuff, so this one from the trailer looks a little bit janky, but it's called Deathstroke Knights and Dragons. It's actually a storyline that I'm somewhat familiar with. It was fun. It's Deathstroke, Wade Wilson. He's going to be voiced by Michael Chiklis. No, it's not Wade Wilson. Who am I thinking of? I mixed up stupid Deadpool, because Deadpool is actually a parody character from Deathstroke. They look at their weapons, look at how the character costume and everything. It's very similar, and in fact, Deathstroke's name is not Wade Wilson; it's Slade Wilson. So yeah, Deadpool is very much a parody of Deathstroke, but Deathstroke is let's say the not funny at all. He's not the comedian or as insane as Wade Wilson is. Anyway, I saw the trailer. It looks fine. It's rated R. I love it when DC does rated R animated stuff, so I'll check it out. It looks interesting enough, and I believe it's already out, so you can purchase it now. Anyway, moving on. I also saw the trailer for an upcoming TV show from Netflix called Cursed. Now, this is based on the Arthurian legend. For those of you who don't know, that's the legend of King Arthur and the Sword of Excalibur. This one I'm not too crazy about. looking at the trailer, it looks kind of like they're trying to, in a way, rip off 300 in a very bad way, and I hate the lead here. The difference here is they're trying to do an Arthurian legend, but from what I understand, it's what if supposedly the sword chooses the next king, but at this point, it's what if she chooses the sword chooses a woman so the next queen. However, the queen that it's choosing is Nemu. I honestly have no idea how you say her name. And for those of you, again, who are familiar with Arthurian lore, that's the Lady of the Lake. Lady of the Lake is the one who actually ends up giving King Arthur the magical sword. By the way, there's two swords. One is Excalibur, the other one is the magical sword. So it again depends on what you're reading or who you're researching, but there's a lot of stuff in Arthurian lore. So at first I was excited because this is based off a Frank Miller story, and it's going to be it's going to be, well, let's say a different take on it. It sounded exciting, but looking at the first visuals per se, not excited. It kind of looks a little bit crappy. I'm going to be cautious. Again, since it's based on Frank Miller's work, I think that's the issue. Frank Miller, he wrote 300, so I'm guessing they're like, oh well, we'll just make it look like 300 because it's Frank Miller. Nah, that's not how that works. And honestly, it's a very bad idea. But the story should be strong enough. I just hate the lead. Catherine Langford, for those of you who saw 13 Reasons Why, she's the girl who kills herself at the beginning. I don't like her as an actress. She's boring and she's not that good. So maybe the action will be enough to compensate for that. But and also I like that Gustav Skarsgård is going to be playing Merlin. Gustav Skarsgård, he's the brother of Alexander Skarsgård, the actor, for you may know him. Well, the younger Skarsgård brother, he played It in the movies It. He played, Pennywise the Clown. Alexander Skarsgård, he played the Eric Northman, the vampire in True Blood. But Gustav Skarsgård, he's actually a Viking. He's one of the main characters in the TV show Viking. So I like that guy, and I can see them as an eccentric Merlin. But I just do not like the casting of the main character, which is very important. So we'll see. I like the story. I like Frank Miller's work. I just don't like the visual style that they're going for, and I definitely do not like the lead. But I guess we'll get more information. This is just the first tease. The episodes will be available on July 17th, so I guess we won't have to wait long for to judge this one, whether it's favorably or harshly. Moving on, director Zack Snyder has given us our first tease of what his Justice League Director's Cut is going to look like. Honestly, it looks pretty exciting. It's pretty interesting. It's a scene with Wonder Woman, and there's a voiceover by Jesse Eisenberg who plays Lex Luthor, and he's let's say it's actually a scene that's in the movie where not the scene, the dialogue is actually in the movie where he talks about the bell being rung and teases the awakening of or let's say creatures from outer space being notified of the events of Earth. So honestly, it's pretty good. I'm excited for the clip. I was excited for the clip. It's like 30 seconds. But the big thing here is Zack Snyder has confirmed that they will be showing more of the movie. They'll give you a little bit more, better peeks at the movie at the DC fandom. Fandom is going to be basically a DC event. Since Comic-Con's not happening, everybody and their mother's doing an event pretty similar to what I just spoke about from the Night City Wire, the City Project Red is doing. So that event will be happening on August 22nd at 9 a.m. And I'm guessing they'll be showcasing a whole bunch of stuff like the Batman movie, the Snyder Cut, the Flash movie, if it's ever going to happen, Wonder Woman 1984. So it should be interesting stuff. At least I'm excited for that event now. Moving on, not exactly moving on, but sticking on the superhero realm, Spotify has announced that they have a multi-year partnership with DC Comics and with Warner Brothers in general, and they will be doing a multi-year podcast partnership. Now, Spotify has been making a lot of solid moves in the podcasting world. like they just recently acquired the rights to the Joe Rogan podcast, so the Joe Rogan podcast will be exclusively on Spotify, which is a very smart move for everybody involved, because that's what the biggest podcast around, and so they're going to gather a massive audience there. But here, what I understand from what I've read, what they're going to be doing is they will be basically making story podcasts with DC superheroes and supervillains, which is just brilliant. It's something that I've actually looked into doing myself, like story podcasts. It's first off expensive and kind of a big pain in the butt, but it's fun, and you can get a lot of very, very good results from it. So honestly, I'd be very, very much down to listening to a Batman podcast, because you're going to be in his head, and so you can follow Batman. It could be a detective podcast, but just following Batman's train of thought, which would be great. Or maybe one where you follow the Joker's train of thought, or just interactions with between them. I've had a lot of fun listening to a good story podcast. It's honestly a fun experience. I've recommended this one 100 times. It's called Hunt the Truth. That one's it was a podcast to get people ready and excited for Halo Guardians, where they follow a reporter is doing research into the life of Master Chief to put up a puff piece, but he starts realizing that there's a pretty deep and dark government conspiracy in there. So that was fun, and it was just a regular dude. So adding superheroes into the mix could be fun. It could be, like right off the top of my head, a reporter trying to investigate who the hell a particular superhero is. Or there's honestly, the opportunities are endless. It's a new medium, and it's a new format in which you could tell a superhero story, and it's very smart for Spotify to nail them down before anybody else, before this thing actually blows up. Because I think, like, honestly, it's all in the writing. When it comes to stuff like this, for any story, it's all in the writing, and if you get good writers to write good stories for this particular medium, I think it could be a huge hit. I'm honestly very, very excited for this. They don't say when they will start specifically, but they also said that they're going to be doing other types of stories. They're going to be doing crossover events in the future. They will be doing comedy series, and all that's going to be produced by WB, which is usually pretty audience friendly. So. But the thing I like about DC is that it's usually audience friendly, but they're not afraid to go really dark, really fast when they have to. So I'm excited. Honestly, it sounds good. It's all good for the world of podcasting. We're barely scratching the surface. We're barely starting to discover how far this can go, what we can actually create. And so this is the newest frontier. This is the newest area that we're exploring, and I like it. I like more geek stuff, more superhero stuff out there. I'm all in. I'm excited. So I believe that's it for today. As always, any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at Dario the Show on Instagram or at SuperDarioPeriodWorld. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you again next time.